So, this is my first time making a YouTube video, so please bear with me. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to put on the front mud flaps, Ford OEM mud flaps, and I'm going to put them on with the factory step bars. With these step bars right here. As you can see, I've already made the new holes on this bar. And I'm going to now do cutting the holes so that I can mount the retaining clips. I can already mount the retaining clip, one here to here and one here to here, as well as one here to here. But I need to use retaining clip slot for this one, same that top one and top one. And also take note that I moved the factory step bar further away from the vehicle. Two things. I noticed that one, they were harder to step on because they were tucked really tight underneath the truck, and two, because it just wouldn't work. They'd be too close to the notches there for the retaining clip, so I had to shift it up a little bit in order to get this hole to go there and not split this. Installing the mud flaps is fairly simple. There's this one screw here which you put a backing clip on, so it pulls in tight. I use the factory clip for this one, which is like some type of plastic screw thing, and I used just these two metal retaining clips. They do a great job holding it on. I believe down here also there's another hole in the sheet metal back there, which it looks like you could probably put a retaining clip on or like a push pin through to secure that section. And I'm probably going to do that too, because it is a little flimsy right in that area. Alright, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the mud flap on. You can see the two screws. They're like these plastic style push pin screws, like this. And sometimes the base wants to spin, so you just hold it with your finger while you use a screwdriver to screw the screw out, and it comes right out. So what we're going to do here now is we're going to use the stock one in that location, and we're going to put a silver, I don't know if you can see it, the light, put this silver clip back there for the screw. And then there's three of these metal retaining clips, like U-pinch clips, that we're going to use to secure the rest of the mud flap in. And I'll do that right now. Alright, so what I did now is I just wiped down the underside of the steps, and I cleaned off the brackets, and then I mounted the mud flap in there. Now, in order to do this, this is where I make the marks for the new holes to be drilled, and I'll do that right now. Alright, so I'm under the truck now. I laid the step bar back onto the truck, onto its mounts, and now I'm going to see this line right here. I use this line as my new reference, and I lined it up with the edge of the bracket. So basically, I don't have a wide angle lens here, but basically what I'm going to do is move that line with the bracket, and I'm going to do that with all three of them, line them up, and this way it gives me a little bit of an offset so I can put the new hole here and here and here, and that's that. Now for the front, basically what I'm doing is I'm just going to make sure that this flap is up against the front just ever so slightly, because I don't want it to do that when it's blowing the wind, so I put a little more pressure on it, like right there. Now it won't flap in the wind. So after I laid it on back on the steps, I went underneath the car. I took some white touch-up paint and filled in the holes. I was going to drill it underneath, but there was really nowhere to use a clamp in the right way, and I didn't want metal shavings falling all over my face and into my eyes. So what we did here is some of the holes I had to make some modifications to. For instance, I had to use this, but I had to cut it out to make it rectangular, so that the pin here would slide perpendicular or flush against that, so it would be a good match. So in some of them I drilled out, I just used a Dremel, made a rectangle, and I sized the other ones that'll work. For instance, I had to do that to that one. So now I'm just I filed them down, got all the burrs off, and now I'm just gonna hit it with some spray paint. I know it's aluminum, it's probably not gonna rust, but whatever. So here's the finished product. And then with the flaps, left enough right there. So a little bit of movement. And underneath, there's the new holes versus the old holes. Big new gap. It used to be like a millimeter off of the and here's the distance to the back tire. It's probably an inch and a half. And that's it.